So the topic is correlation and regression analysis. Okay, so you can write this, that this is a statistical technique. This is a statistical technique used to study the type into brackets correlation and the strength into brackets regression and the strength of the relationship that exists between variables. There are two types of variables. In any relationship. Two types of variables in any relationship. One, dependent variable. And we explain that this is the variable. Whose values are influenced. By another variable. Even if not in totality. It is represented using letter Y. In most cases. A relationship can only have one dependent variable at a time. Number two, independent variable. And write that this is the one that influences the dependent variable. It is usually represented by letter X. Just a minute. Then we proceed and write that a relationship can have one or more. A relationship can have one or more independent variables at a time. So stop, still on the same, right? If there is one independent variable, it is known as simple or ordinary least squares. Methods. It is known as simple or ordinary least squares method, whose general format is y is equals to a plus bx. Y is equals to a plus bx, where b is equal to n sum of xy minus sum of x sum of y. You divide by n sum of x squared minus sum of x. You square that. A is given as sum of y minus b sum of x. You divide by n. And maybe we could specify here, this is the slope, and the slope is the rate at which y changes when x changes by 1 unit. This is slope. It is the rate at which y changes when x changes by 1 unit. And this one is called constant. Is called constant. And constant is value of y not influenced by x. The value of y which is not influenced by x. Then down there you write that if there are more than one independent variables, it is called multiple regression. It is called multiple regression. Multiple regression, whose general format is y is equals to a plus b1 x1 plus b2 x2 plus all the way up to bn xn. Its general format is y is equals to a plus b1 x1 plus b2 x2. That way, where bj is rate at which y changes when xj changes by 1 unit, all else remaining constant. All else remaining constant. All else remaining constant. Then down there we write that the type of the relationship is represented by the sign of the slope b brackets b, the sign of the slope b, and the sign of Pearson's product moment correlation coefficient R, and the sign of Pearson's product moment correlation coefficient R, where R between X and Y is given as n sum of xy minus sum of x sum of y. You divide by the square root. You divide by the square root of n sum of x squared minus sum of x squared. That way, times into brackets n sum of y squared minus sum of y squared down there we indicate minus 1 and positive 1. That is the range. That is the range. Then you write that there are 3 types of relationships. There are three types of relationships. Three types of relationships. One, direct relationship. Direct relationship. And we explain that this is where the two variables change. The two variables change towards the same direction. The two variables change towards the same direction. First of all, it is represented by a positive value. It is represented by a positive value. Number two, inverse relationship. Inverse relationship. Right, that this is where the two variables. This is where the two variables change towards opposite. Change towards opposite directions. Towards opposite directions. First of all, it is represented by a negative value. It is represented by a negative value. Number three is called null relationship. Null relationship. And we write that this is where the variables have no relationship at all. The variables have no relationship at all. Have no relationship at all. First of all, it is represented by zero. It is represented by zero. Okay, then the other thing that you need to write there is this. The strength of the relationship. The strength of the relationship is represented by the absolute value. Is represented by the absolute value of the correlation coefficient. Absolute value of the correlation coefficient. In that, the closer it is to 1, the closer it is to 1, the stronger the relationship. The stronger the relationship. E.g. minus 0.8 represents a stronger relationship than 0.6. Than 0.6. The reason is because when you see the word absolute, it means you ignore the negative sign. So you see now, if you ignore the negative, this is closer to 1 than this. Yeah. Okay, the other point that we need to write is that if the data is qualitative, we use Spearman. We use Spearman's rank correlation coefficient brackets RS. We use Spearman's rank correlation coefficient RS, and the formula of RS is given as 1 minus 6 sum of this squared. You divide by n into brackets n squared minus 1. RS is 1 minus 6 sum of this squared. Divide by n brackets n squared minus 1, where d squared, or just d is difference between ranks. Difference between ranks. This is 6. Now, one thing that you need to realize is that life is made up of relationships. And at any point of your life, you are doing 3 things, either all of them or one. You are joining new relationships, that is, you are joining, or you are maintaining the current relationships, or you are quitting, or you are destroying the current relationships. That's the order of your life. You are either joining a new relationship, or you are maintaining a current relationship, or you are quitting. Like today, you and me, we are maintaining a relationship we have been for a while. We have been in the teacher, student. Time will come when we shall destroy or we shall quit. And there was a time when we formed this relationship. When you came to my class for the first time, that is when we joined. And that's the order of. Now, life, again, I've said, is made up of relationships. And what comes your way or what does not come your way is a function of the relationships you are in or you are not in. You see, like right now, you are listening to me because you are in a relationship with me. If you are not in this relationship, you will not be hearing me. That's why even in finance, they say your net worth is your network. So if that be the case, then we need to be aware of the types of relationships and the strength of relationships. Because especially when you want to join, this person that you want to join the relationship with is already in another relationship. That other relationship can either strengthen the new relationship you want to form with them, or can prevent the new relationship you want to form with them. Take a case like this. There is this girl who has seen me, and she's interested in me. Most likely, I'm already in a relationship with another lady, who is my wife. So my current relationship with my wife will prevent the new relationship that the lady would want to create. Is that so? Yes, and she must realize that this guy is already married. That cannot work. Or you could find someone who is already my friend. I know them. And maybe you want to be assisted matters QA. And where we have to join is Anna. So what you can do, you can take advantage of that other person who is also your friend, akulete kwangu. Na akiniambia mambo yako, I will easily assist you. Does that happen in life? You are introduced to me by another person, and because of the respect I have for that person, I will easily help you. So the relationship I have with that person will strengthen the relationship you have. And that's why you hear of the issue of, do you know anybody? Yeah. So those things in life, you must be able to know what type of a relationship is there, how strong is it even? Because there are some relationships that could still prevent, but they are so weak. Maybe two people are friends and you want to join them and form a similar friendship, but the two of you cannot coexist. But you realize the current relationship is already very weak, and one of the partners is just looking for waiting for another option. So when you table your proposal, we are beginning an actual the new relationship is formed. We have such cases. Yes. So you need to be aware, even as a business person, so that you can be able to know how to go about your deals. So we are going to stop there for today. Then we shall now compute next time. So thank you so much. Have a nice time.